Hey everybody, I'm Ryan Little, and you're listening to the Filmmaking Friends podcast, episode number 14. Today, we're hanging out with full-time filmmaker, actor, and good friend, Miss Victoria Atkin. We're going to talk about her film career in London, England, why she decided to make the jump over the pond to come work in Los Angeles, what the adjustment was like, as well as we're going to talk a little bit about motion capture. Enjoy this episode. Now, for those of you who don't know who Victoria Atkins is, Atkin... Oh no. I did that the first time we met, too.
I know.
I can't believe I went back to that.
It's okay.
I probably cut that out.
Okay.
I'm going to try to cut that out.
You can cut the S out?
That's what happened. The first time you came and auditioned for us, I called you that. And I think you actually had to correct me.
I correct people a lot.
Yeah, and then we worked on a TV series together, and I think you had to correct me at least for the first couple episodes. There's no S in my name, Ryan. But I want to put an S in your name.
It's okay, because I'm going to do Ryan Little's.
Fair. That's fair. That is fair. You can call me... That should be our thing now. You and I have so many things.
Yeah, it's
We
good.
quote Notting Hill, and we put S's on the end of each other's names. I think I'm going to keep this in the podcast.
Okay,
now.
you should. I mean, I feel like this might happen on every podcast I do.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
People are like, it's Atkins, right? I heard that on Ryan Little's podcast.
You know what? If there's work, you can call me whatever you want.
You're playing a character. You're playing Victoria Atkins, the character. It's not
The
you.
one that gets paid.
The one that gets paid.
So that's good. Yeah,
Yes.
that's good. That's a good one.
All right, let me try this again. So for those of you who do not know who Victoria Atkin is, she's worked on a lot of stuff. Obviously, you can tell from her accent, she is not from the United States of America. She actually is from the UK. And when she was over there, she worked on a lot of things. Hollyoaks is probably the thing you worked on the most. Like 134 episodes.
Yes.
What was the character's name? I can't remember.
The character was called Jasmine Costello, and then they had gender identity disorder and became Jason Costello during the course of those 134 episodes.
Oh.
So there was an official name change, and they explored gender identity disorder.
Interesting. That would be a very challenging character in some ways to play, right?
It was pretty much a baptism of fire for my first job out of drama school, yeah.
Yeah. Now, in addition, and you've done lots of other stuff too, like you've done some video games, of course, which obviously is not necessarily the thing you do the most. You do movies the most and TV series the most, of course, but you've done Assassin's Creed Syndicate, right?
I did the motion capture for that too, which was fun.
And then you did Titanfall 2.
I did.
And you probably have done at least one or two more since then too.
Yep, Horizon Zero Dawn and, oh my goodness, Middle-earth, Shadow of War. I can't even remember that.
And occasionally you'll send me a video with the jumpsuit and the dots on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that
fun.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And it looks fun, sort of.
It's really fun. Actually, it's really, really fun. I like doing motion capture a lot.
And then, of course, you and I got to work together on the TV series Extinct.
We did.
Which we got to do one season of that.
Yep.
Now, at that time, when you auditioned for that and we hired you for the part of Fina for that, how long had you been in the States at that point? Because that was like 2016.
I think 2 years I'd been in the States.
Oh, so you had been in the States that long?
Yeah, and I lived in Toronto in 2015.
Oh,
so I was in
we
Canada.
both lived in Toronto. I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know. At 2015?
Not in 2015,
I was gonna
no.
say.
My wife would wonder where I was if I lived in Toronto in 2015. No, but I had lived there for a year.
Oh, cool.
In like a long time ago. But
yeah,
that's cool. And were you there through Toronto through a winter at all?
I was. I arrived in January and didn't research Toronto weather, so I didn't have a coat.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Toronto winters are pretty ruthless.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah.
So I got a coat the first day.
In fact, we filmed Extinct in Utah during the winter for part of the season, and even though that was cold, Toronto killed it.
No,
right?
that wasn't cold compared to Toronto.
Yeah.
And we had feet warmers.
We had feet
but
warmers.
I was inside all the time in Toronto.
Yeah.
I was outside a lot in Utah.
Oh, that's a good point.
So.
That's a good point. But yes, Toronto is a great place, but in the winter it's pretty brutal. You have to have a good warm coat.
They don't lie when they say you come out of a building, get into a cab and go straight into a building. You do not spend any time
Yeah, that's why they have all these tunnels and subway systems so that you don't have to actually go outside. And it's a perfect city for vampires because they don't have to. They can get around without having to go out into the daylight.
I saw a few actually when I was there. Yeah,
I'm sure. I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. Okay, so you're working a lot in England, and at some point you decide that you want to come to the United States.
Yes.
Yeah. Why did you decide to do that?
Well, I didn't really decide it. What happened? So I had some money. I was on a series, and I was series regular, and I was doing that, earning some good money a week, and put some money away. And somebody said to me, "Victoria, you do really great in America." And I said, "Why would I want to do that? I train in musical theatre, so my big goal was to be on the West End." So I was all set for that. I was going in for auditions for that, and I was singing, but anyway, this thought niggled in my mind when they said it. It just like planted the seed, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. It just kept going on in my mind, and I thought, okay, well, this isn't going away. Maybe I should explore this. So I went on a networking week with a bunch of actors for a week out here, and we took meetings. I think there was like 12 of us, something like that. So they set everything up, like the hotel, the flights, and you just pay this fee of money, and then they take you around LA. And, we went to meetings with casting directors, acting coaches, and all this stuff. It was like a jam-packed
Is this the first time? Is this the first time you've been to the States?
I'd only ever been once before on a family holiday.
Oh, okay.
And my dad thought it'd be fun to have an RV and travel like they do.
The American Dream. The
Yeah,
RV.
the Robin Williams movie.
Yeah.
That was us.
Yeah, but with
when I was
English
18.
people.
Yeah, with English people.
Oh, it would be much more funny.
So,
Anyway, so you met with casting directors. I didn't mean to cut you off. You met with casting directors and people like that on this experience.
So we did that, and then because I was on a series, I was getting a lot of attention when we were going into these meetings, and people were looking at my resume like, oh, she's on a big show and has played this extraordinary transgendered character, and she trained at a good school. Let's take meetings. So in between all the set meetings, I had meetings from people like Paradigm and that wanted to look at me for representation, but I had no visa or anything. So, and I was still on the show. I knew that my time on the show was coming to a close, but I was still doing that. And then they made a spin-off movie. And anyway, I was still living in Liverpool and making the show. So anyway, I took this week and it was really, really successful. So I came back and decided to look into getting a O1 visa.
So if you're an actor and you want to come to the United States, that's where you start, the O1 visa.
That is, I think, for English people, yeah. I'm not sure if... I guess that is for anybody internationally.
I guess that could be different for each country depending on how they set it up.
Yeah,
but for England, that's what it is.
Yeah, an O1. So, yes, if I hadn't have done the show, I don't think I would have had the start-up money to get that ball going.
Yeah. So you fill out the paperwork, you get a lawyer or different people to help you to do that, to do it correctly, and then you submit it. And what's the wait time like? What was it for you?
It was definitely over 6 months for the first one, and then it only lasts for 3 years, so then you have to renew it again.
Okay.
So
have you had to renew it?
I've renewed it once, and now I have a green card.
Oh, now you have a green card.
So
you get you get it the first time, and you come over here, and is that pretty much all you need is the visa? Once you have the visa, you can come.
Well, yeah, and you can only work in the entertainment industry, and you're going to like this because this is the title of what I'm called in an O1 visa. An alien of extraordinary ability.
Really?
Yeah.
Alien
so now I know you're going to look at me differently now.
You should put that on your resume.
I know.
And they're like, come on. You're like, no, I have paperwork to prove it.
Yeah, that I'm an alien of extraordinary ability.
I love it.
So once you get your O1, that's what you are. An official alien.
Well, that seems like that would get you right in on every casting opportunity.
You'd think.
Alien with extraordinary abilities. We should get her in here. We don't know. She might do something amazing.
I should have put that on my resume. Should have just cancelled out my name and put that.
Yeah. So you get the special paperwork with the special ID on it.
You get an alien logo too.
An alien, get some stickers, get a t-shirt, some swag. So then you show up here and have you worked out reps before you came? Like while you're waiting for this visa to go, or were you kind of networking and trying to set something up?
It's really hard when you're not here.
Yeah.
I think it's, especially when you get going. I mean, it's okay now that I've been here, I have friends here and I can, but it takes a long time, as you probably know, to make those contacts. And it really is a marathon and not a sprint. Like, you can get a head start when you come out here because you have a lot of momentum and you've got a lot of energy and you're new, fresh face. But I really think that it does take that time to plant those seeds and pound the pavement with, who you're talking to. So I did get I got a good start. I got a show right off the bat.
Good.
5 episodes in a network show. And
was that like pretty quick after you got here?
Yeah, but I was working with my English agent and they were submitting me from there.
Oh, that's good.
So they were helping out. That worked out well on the first time that I came out here.
Yeah.
And I just, after that network week, I came back out again. I planned myself a 3-week trip and I jam-packed it with meetings, and I tried to experience the social side of it and the cultural side of it too, because it's really very different from England. And I wanted to spend 3 weeks here by myself, seeing whether I could live here. I didn't know anybody in America.
You didn't?
Not
you should
one
call
person.
me.
I know, I should have.
Oh, yeah, but you didn't know me. That's 2 years before we ever met.
Anyway, so I didn't know anyone. The first person I met when I came over here was a friend of mine. I mean, really, now looking back, it's absurd that I did this. A friend of mine that I knew at the gym in Liverpool said, "Oh, my friend lives in America." Yeah. It was one of them, like, "You should meet her."
Yeah.
So I get on the plane.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, you can stay with me." So I stay at this random Liverpudlian woman's house, who is now like one of my dearest.
Stayed at her house?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Dearest friends.
Okay.
I got I mean, I was 23 at the time.
Right.
And I really don't think, I don't know, if somebody said to me, "This is what you're going to do," there's no way I would have done it.
Right.
I don't know. You have to have a little bit of madness, I think, to do it.
Yeah.
So I sell my car and I come over here. I've never driven on the other side of the road. I get a rental car. I land after a 10-hour flight. I've never done a flight like that by myself.
It's
really.
Super long flight.
Yeah. I land, I get this rental car. I've never driven an automatic because in England it's all manual.
Yep.
So I drive in this automatic rental car on the other side of the road, and it's the day that they're moving a space shuttle down the 405.
Oh.
So all I had to go to Venice, but for me it took 2 hours.
Sure.
And I didn't realize how close that was. Now I do, but
yeah. That
anyway.
would have been stressful.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, you kept on wanting to play with the shift. You're like, "Oh no, don't touch it, don't touch it."
I was trying to drive this go-kart that felt like a go-kart around all the roads, and the GPS was just rerouting because of the spaceship.
So when you came and then stayed at this lady's house, and you got a gig, which was great right away. At that point, did you say, "Okay, well, I'm here now," and your 3-week vacation, your 3-week adventure, you literally stayed here, or did you go back?
No, the 3-week adventure I didn't book in that 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah,
I just came out and had some meetings. Then I came back and said, "I'll be here for 6 months." I had money for 6 months, and
and that doesn't. You got to have a lot of money because 6 months in LA without a job is money goes by fast.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
So I said I have to book a show that has to fly me back to Heathrow. So I was really adamant and solely focused on that. And I did. And I booked a show that shot in Bucharest, Romania. Oh. And I managed to get my agents to add on the Heathrow bit. Yeah. So that's how I got back. And then for 6 months I worked, doing as much as I could in the UK to earn money to come back.
Bucharest, Romania is one of my least favorite places in the whole world.
You don't like it there?
Oh, not when I went there. Not when I shot there. It was scary. There was wild dogs everywhere. Yeah. That's crazy. There's dogs everywhere.
I stayed in the Hilton and just literally stayed inside.
I'm sure it's much better now.
No, it wasn't.
No? Okay.
But the Hilton was nice.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, it was kind of freaky when I went there. I'm like, I don't think I need to come back to this
I wasn't there for very long. I shot 5 episodes in a week, so I was...
So, at what point, do you make the commitment to be here? This is 6 months, right?
I'm still thinking about that.
You come and go?
My mom keeps asking me when I'm coming home, still.
Yeah.
And this is 5, 6 years
Yeah, she
later.
thinks this is an extended vacation, right?
Yeah, when I told her I got a green card, she wasn't very happy.
So, you and I, we got the opportunity to work together on the Extinct TV series, which I think we had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
We did, we did have fun on that.
And unfortunately that got canceled, so neither you or I are working on that anymore. But it was fun while we were doing that.
Yeah.
So you've done a lot of television, you've done some movies, and of course you've done motion capture and voices for video games, which is awesome too. Do you enjoy one more than the other, do you think?
It's interesting to ask that question. I mean, I feel like I like if we have preparation time for TV to build a character. My favorite thing is building a character.
Sure, makes sense.
Like creating that person, building their life, and bringing them to life, and being able to allow people to escape and have the relatability to somebody that they go, oh, this is like my life, or these are my struggles, or this is like my romance, or this is all these different things. So whether it's, I mean, I like that prep, you know, for Assassin's Creed, I prepped all the Victorian London stuff, and for Hollyoaks, I had to learn about the transgender community and all that stuff. So I like playing those characters. For Fina, the world of hacking and, you know, all that science and the technology of that, trying to get my head around.
Yeah, I mean, you had to figure out how to take a drone apart and put it back together.
That's it. That's right.
Not many
people
have that skill.
I actually learned how to hack for that. I learned how to hack. Somebody taught me how to hack for that show.
That's a skill that not many people have.
No. So
there's not many movies that need that either.
So, well, anyway, but yeah, so for me, it's the prep. It's that stuff. I like motion capture because they had the freedom to, you know, you have no props or costume or set. So it's like when you're a small kid and you're trying to imagine everything. You have your imaginary world and you have your friends to play, you know, the characters. So that's really fun. But TV, I mean, I have the most experience in from doing that as a series regular for so long. And film, I love the luxury of it. I love the time that you have and how focused it can be. And if the storytelling's done right, it can really look amazing and have a huge impact. So, I mean, for me, TV and film are number one. Film is where I would like to really focus.
You want to do more films? Mm-hmm. That's cool. Do you have a genre or anything that you'd love to do? I mean, you'd probably love to do any great movie with any great script. But
for me, I would like to do a biopic. That would be like my ultimate dream, to bring somebody that's been really influential in history to life.
Well, and talking on that point, actually, you also, I know that you have shared some things with me. You're also trying to develop your own ideas, your own projects.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have been working on a pilot with the writer of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Him and I have put together a live action TV show, which brings to life an actual character from history too.
Yeah, and it's great. I read it and I thought it was really, really good, and I can see that it you know, could be a really, really great project. And you just have to find the right people to. Yeah,
it's finding the right people that want to get excited about it and put the money behind it. But I think it's cool. It's like it would be a brand new franchise, so that would be fun. And also trying to build some animation as well. That's
right. Yeah, and then you did some animation stuff that you showed me too. Mm-hmm. That's cool. So you kind of try a little bit of everything, right?
I think so. I think I've always, as a small kid, I think it's important to look back at like what you were like when you were growing up and how that's crafted. Mm-hmm. I mean, I always wrote poetry and stories, and then I would pretend to have a radio show when I was a kid, and then I would put on, you know, a theatre show. So it was all these different things. And I remember my grandparents always being like, well, she's almost like a creative entrepreneur. There's all these different things going on. But the first and foremost is that I'm an actor and storyteller.
Yeah. And I just remembered you also have written a book, if not more than one book.
I've written a lot for different articles. I've written for the Stage newspaper and Spotlight, which is our Actors Access thing. Mm-hmm. And yes, I wrote a novel, a romance novel.
What is that called?
It's called London Love, and it's on Amazon. And I also narrated the audiobook, so you can download that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I can listen to the book and have you tell it to me?
Yeah.
This is like
I'm not sure it's going to be your genre.
Hey, I'm willing to listen to anything.
We'll see.
I might need that on my long drives up to LA for meetings. I might be like, I'm going to listen to Victoria's book.
I would be very interested in your experience of it.
Could be fun. Well, you know what? Tell everybody where they can find you on social media if they want to check out what you do.
Follow me on Twitter at Victoria Atkin, and on Instagram at Victoria Atkin, and I have a Facebook page which is The Victoria Atkin.
And none of those have an S at the end.
No S's.
No
just
S's.
Atkin. Yeah. And you know what Atkin means? I was looking up this word.
Healthy. I don't know.
No, that's the Atkins diet.
That's what it is. That's why I want to call you that. Because you're so healthy. I just think you might be on that diet.
No, I'm definitely not on that diet.
What is,
but anyway, so in England, all the names are like really old names. So Atwell meant that they were at the well. And Atkin meant that she was at the top of the hill. She or he was at the top of the hill, holding court with friends and family and telling stories.
Oh.
So that's where Atkin comes from. A linguist told me that.
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't.
But a movie about a biopic about you at the top of the hill might be very appropriate.
But let's see how my career goes. Maybe someone will make it when I die. Yes. Who knows?
All right. Well, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
If you have any questions or comments for me, the best place is to send me a direct message on my Instagram page, which is RyanLittle_director. And I will be more than glad to hear what you have to say and talk to you and all that good stuff. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Filmmaking Friends. And I look forward to sharing more awesome interviews with awesome people. Thanks again, Victoria.
Thank you.